tanto jugando suelto como en competición. Tanto si se trata de un rápido 9 hoyos o de un gran 36. Tanto si juegas bajo presión o arrasando, siempre das lo mejor de ti. Nuevo Fuel de FootJoy.
All right. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the 2022 PGA Championship here at Southern Hills Country Club, Tulsa, Oklahoma. We are pleased to be joined by 2022 PGA Professional Champion, Jesse Muller. Jesse, congratulations on your win just 4 or 5 weeks ago. How has your life changed in the last 4 or 5 weeks, and how long did it take for you to turn the page from what your terrific week in Austin to begin to get ready for what was happening this week?
Well, yeah, thank you. It was an amazing accomplishment to win the National Club Pro with all the size of the field and the quality of the field. To be able to win, it was just I had all aspects of my game going, and I needed it just for the quality of field and the amount of players. So it was a great week for me for sure. I didn't realize going into the week how important of the event. I knew it was a big event, but I didn't realize how big of an event it was and all the doors that's opened up and opportunities that'll be in the future for me. So maybe that was a good thing. I don't know, but it's been a whirlwind since I got back for sure.
So when you did turn the page and you began to maybe study up a little bit about Southern Hills, how did you package that within your game? I know you chipped very well in Austin. Is that something you tried to carry on, or did you try to do different things off the tee? How did you prepare to play in a major championship?
As working full time, I don't get a ton of time to practice and play. So when I do, I choose wisely where I spend my time, and I spend most of my time just chipping and putting. At this point in my career, I don't spend too much time hitting balls on the range anymore like I did when I was playing full time. So if I can go sneak out for an hour a day, I usually just chip and putt, and that helps me prepare for these bigger tournaments for sure.
Okay, we're going to go back to microphone 10.
Yep.
Go ahead,
Jesse, Thomas just brought up Coach Mike Small, and I've talked to Mike about it, during his early years when he was grinding on the Nike tour and trying to make the tour. And he said he became a better player when he started coaching full time and didn't have much time to play. And I know you and I have talked about it. Is that, what is it about, you went through that whole mini tour circuit and Gateway, and then now you are working full time and less time to play. What is it about becoming a better player when you're working more hours?
Possibly. I've had time to think about the last couple of years, and I've had some really nice tournaments the last 2 or 3 years while not spending nearly the time I did when I was playing full time. Some of it's perspective, I think. When you're playing full time, that is your livelihood. So sometimes you can let that pressure build up. And now that I'm working full time, and it's fun. It's a game, and it's more of a bonus that I get to play in these type of events. So my perspective, I still want to play well and succeed and win these events, but my perspective going into them is a little bit different than it was, say, 10 years ago.
And you played at the Olympic Club in the U.S. Open, made the cut, huge accomplishment, but you've been out here for the last 3-4 days. What are your impressions of Southern Hills and how you played in one major and this is your first PGA, but what are your impressions so far?
Well, it's a challenging course. It's long, the rough is up, and the green complexes are there's no let up. So it's, I'm glad that I feel good about my chipping because I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of chipping this week. But just a great golf course. I think the redesign they did is just right in front of you, but it's very challenging and fair. And you just really need all aspects of your game working, I think. The best players at the end they'll be playing good in all aspects of their game this week.
Juan?
Here's about the connection between the two aspects of your professional life, your golf life. And I wonder, when your students or people like that, now that you know the best in the world, they'll come to you and say, I'm going to hit it like Rory, or I'm going to try to hit it like Rory. Do you give them a reality check? You tell them you are in a different galaxy, or you try to keep their illusions alive?
No, well, because I can't swing like Rory either. And I can't swing 125 miles per hour either. I swing 115 miles per hour, 114 miles per hour. So everybody's body's different, and I don't teach a ton, but in the last 6-7 years of teaching, you just get everybody from their body types are different, their flexibility is different, so you learn to work with each person individually and try to get them better. Because not everybody can swing the same way and swing like the guys they see on TV.
So talking about different galaxies, you have the 20 club pros here
Yes.
this week. And I mean, and I really hope, I mean, you make the cut and you
Sure.
win this thing. But what are you in the same planet that these top 50 guys here?
Well, in small glimpses, maybe. I feel like when at times, I feel like my game is pretty good, and I feel like I can compete. So I've played in the weekend of a major before, so I know I can get there. But those guys at the top are very good, and over a span of a year, no. But over a span of 18 holes, 36 holes, maybe. So.
Yeah. So being at the range with them or being on the course with them, and it looks like you are really good at your short game. Is there times that you think that could teach them something, or is there times that you think, I wish some of these guys would teach me something?
Well, just being able to be around good players. I played with Martin Kaymer this week and Sergio and Colin. Just kind of watching them. You never spend enough time around good players. So just I don't really know exactly what I picked up, but I know I did. So the more time you can spend around good players, and that's what I have advice to when young players today. Pick players that are better than you to hang around with, and I think you'll only get better that way.
So talking about those guys, so Kaymer, Sergio, and
Colin.
And Colin.
Yeah.
What were the things that impressed you the most, and you want to try to replicate? I mean, just.
I only played 5 or 6 holes with some and 9 holes with the other, but you can just tell their swings and their ball striking is very good and consistent. You can tell that's why they've been so good for so long. That will hold up. Their games will hold up over long periods of time on different courses. So you can kind of just tell that by watching them for a short amount of time, for sure.
Talk about the shared experience this is with your wife, Jessie, and what happened in Austin, which was right near your anniversary, if I remember, but also just what the last 4 or 5 weeks are and the culminating here this week in Tulsa.
Yeah, it's really fun to have her on the bag. Just to be able to, that's such a unique experience to win that tournament, and then to have her right there with me it was fun, and it's something that not everyone gets to share so intimately with their spouse or loved one. So it was fun to have her there, and she's good for me on the bag because it helps me probably keep me most comfortable in my own shoes or to just be able to let myself play my own game, and she enables me to do that. So it's nice to have her on the bag for sure.
Do the kids get an understanding about what you accomplished last month and what you're doing this week? Are they here?
A little bit. They're not. My mother-in-law, Barb Schilling, is watching them. I'd like to thank her. That allows us to come out here and kind of focus on the week. So that's a big help for us. But I don't know. They're still a little young, 8 and 3, so I don't think they quite understand the significance of playing in the PGA Championship and one of the 4 biggest tournaments in the world. So I don't think they're quite there yet. But
okay,
yeah.
Give it time. Give it time.
Yep.
Bill, go back to 10, please.
Jesse, how do you approach tournaments, whether it's local, whether it's Waste Management Phoenix Open, whether it's U.S. Open or PGA Championship? Do you set goals for yourself, and do they differ from whether it's a local 54-hole championship to perhaps a major?
I wouldn't say I would set a goal for myself, but I'd say I try to enter in the Club Pro a few weeks ago. Last year I played and I finished 29th and didn't quite was playing as well, but my mentality was a little bit different. I was kind of letting it. I was waiting for it instead of just at Barton Creek going and getting it. And I was a little bit more aggressive and just went with the mindset that I can win this. I may not, but I know that I can. And so that I went in with a different mindset that week, and it definitely helped me out to have more focus right away rather than just seeing what happens.
Well, obviously nothing is like experience. So, you play in your first Waste Management, missed the cut. You play in your second one, now you know what to expect, the insanity of the fans, et cetera. But having played in a major and knowing what it's about, that certainly has to be in your mind of how much it could help, and you could get it done.
Yeah, and listening to Mr. Stockton earlier talk about, I think what his dad told him is to be aggressive, and that's something that I think does help. It doesn't always mean going for every pin, but you're aggressively going to the center of the green, or you're aggressively picking your spots to lay up, always moving forward. So I think that is true. That's something that I'll be looking to try to do this week.
Jesse, let's wrap it up with comparing and contrasting. You played, I believe, in the 2010, 12 U.S. Open.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, that was as an individual. This here, you're representing yourself as the PGA Professional Champion, but also a member of the team at 20. Is there anything different? I know you got together for a team photo, if you will, a few days ago, but maybe the different experience that it is for you here as opposed to a decade ago in San Francisco.
Yeah, it is for sure. Working in the golf industry now for 8, 9, 10 years or whatever, how long I've been doing it, it is a greater appreciation for those who are working in the golf industry, who are helping grow the game and making golf an enjoyable game for everybody. That is, I'm proud to represent that group, and for everyone who can't be here, and those of us that are blessed enough to make it. It is a different perspective being a member of the PGA and working in the golf industry, for sure.
Well, thank you so much. Enjoy everything that this is. Enjoy it with your family, and have a great year as the PGA Professional Champion.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you, Jesse.
Yep.
El nuevo Pro SL no tiene clavos, pero tiene un agarre increíble. Con una plancha de carbono adicional para optimizar el retorno de energía y un nuevo y moderno diseño, el zapato original de máximo rendimiento sin clavos tiene algunas ventajas importantes.